The Shark Deck.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Prince Harry took the witness stand again on Wednesday. Harry choked up as he concluded his 8-hour testimony. Asked by his lawyer how the experience of giving evidence had been, Harry became emotional and after a long pause said, "It is a lot. For my whole life, the press misled me, covered up the wrongdoing. And sitting here in court knowing that the respondents have the evidence in front of them, and for the opposition lawyer, Mr. Green, to suggest I'm speculating, I'm not sure what to say about that," the Duke said. Earlier, Andrew Green, the barrister for MGN, asked Harry if the court were to find no evidence of phone hacking, would he be relieved or disappointed? Harry replied, "That would be speculating. I am not sure if I would be relieved or disappointed." "You want to have been phone hacked?" Green asked, to which the Duke replied, "No one would want to be phone hacked." Website LBC recapped another testy exchange. After a court break later in the morning, Green had been arguing that Harry being banned from returning to service in Afghanistan was a matter of legitimate public interest reflected in the press. "Are you suggesting that while I was in the army that everything was available for the press to write about?" Harry asked Mr. Green. "Can I just repeat, this isn't about you asking me questions, it's about me asking you questions," replied Green. In one part of Wednesday's proceedings, Harry was concerned about how the tabloids repeatedly reported intimate details about his relationship with his former girlfriend Chelsea Davy, sometimes attributing that information to palace sources or friends. Harry said, "I never discussed with the palace any details about my relationship with my girlfriend." After Harry's testimony concluded, his lawyer David Sherborne questioned Jane Kerr, a former Royals editor at the Mirror. Sherborne asked Miss Kerr about requests for information that she had made to a company that he said had used unlawful information gathering techniques. Miss Kerr said she did not remember why she had used the service. "You don't remember, or you don't want to remember, Miss Kerr," Mr. Sherborne said. CNN observed Harry at times appeared nervous and uncomfortable during the cross-examination, but grew in confidence as the session wore on, clashing at times with Green and volleying back questions of his own towards the lawyer. Laura Bundock, royal correspondent for Sky News, analysed the day. A small wave and a smile as he left the High Court, and for Prince Harry, his time here is over. For me, the very last question was one of the most revealing. His barrister asked how he was feeling. Given the day and a half of cross-examination and the world's media watching, "It's a lot," replied Harry, almost inaudibly, and after a long pause. It was the one time his voice started to break. "And it has been a lot. Prince Harry wanted this moment. He came here voluntarily, but he always knew it would be hard. His moment at the High Court has ended, and he can only wait to find out if he's done enough to convince the judge." Sarah Halbergerry was in court and described the day for Sky News. "By coming to the witness box, Prince Harry has had to go through each of the 33 articles in question one by one. You could see on his face that he found it emotionally draining. He looked weary discussing his past relationships, he told the court. It was distressing going through this process, and I would say more distressing sitting here having to go through it all again. He looked pained when saying another former girlfriend, Caroline Flack, was no longer with us. For Prince Harry, it's clear this wasn't about money." In Harry's other court case, The Guardian reports a federal judge has given the US government a week to decide how to respond to a right-wing think tank that alleges Prince Harry may have lied about past drug use on his visa application. In Spare, Harry wrote that he took cocaine several times, starting at about 17, in order to feel, to be different. He also acknowledged using cannabis and psychedelic mushrooms. Application forms for US visas specifically ask about current and past drug use. Admissions of such use can lead to visa applications being rejected, although immigration officers can weigh various factors in their final decision. The Heritage Foundation argues that widespread coverage of Harry's admitted drug use calls into question whether the government properly followed immigration law when it admitted him into the US and whether he was given preferential treatment. Palace Intrigue will be right back.
Hey, it's Jordan Ross Myers, the man behind Twitter's notorious Lee Radswell and Don Gunvalson. I'm inviting you to join me every week for the Pretty Corrupt podcast. Along with my co-host, reality casting director Stacey Noel Connor, and disgraced entertainment TV producer Nate Safer, we deconstruct pop culture's past, present, and future and probe the dark crevices of Hollywood, taking you inside the scandals, feuds, rises, and falls of society's rich and infamous. Alongside interviews with our celebrity friends and special guest hosts, everything is fair game on the Pretty Corrupt podcast. Every Tuesday on all streaming platforms and at storicmedia.com.
The Guardian took a look at the newspaper coverage about Prince Harry, especially interesting given that he is suing newspapers. They write, the coverage was largely critical, with outlets highlighting the contradictions in Harry's witness statement and the apparent lack of hard evidence for his claims to be the victim of phone hacking and other illegal activity by journalists working for the Daily Mirror, Sunday Mirror and People. The Daily Mail used its front page to declare he must have longed for the schmaltzy embrace of Oprah. In a front-page report, writer Jan Moyer declared, time after time, it seemed to me that the prince struggled to convincingly verify the facts of his case and had an alarmingly faint grasp on detail. The Daily Express focused on how Harry had broken royal protocol by criticising Rishi Sunak's government and its relationship with the media. The Sun, which is being sued by Harry in a separate phone hacking case, called Harry the privacy-seeking prince who contradicted himself in evidence. Susanna Reid stuck up for her former co-host Piers Morgan, saying on Good Morning Britain that Harry talks to people in a way that maybe he wants to keep things private. But Piers makes an interesting point there, whether you love him or hate him, whether you agree with what Harry said in court or not. The point is that Harry and Meghan have gone public with so much of their private lives. They've done Netflix documentaries which had massive ratings. They did not go under the radar. Spare blurted huge amounts of personal stuff, not just about his life, but about his family's life, about William, about Camilla, about the King. Does that mean that when he then goes to court and says, my privacy was intruded upon, he doesn't have the same sympathy as if he had just gone and led a private life? Metro reported that viewers were in stitches over the really creepy court reenactment of Prince Harry put on by GB News on Tuesday night. GB News opted to hire an actor to perform Prince Harry's testimony in reconstructed court scenes, as cameras aren't allowed, to rather hilarious effect. The fake Prince Harry donned a white shirt, black tie and dark suit for his performance and was filmed from various angles in front of wooden panelled walls to stand in for the court setting. In other news, royal expert R.S. Locke noted that there seemed to be radio silence from the royals regarding Princess Lilibet's birthday. Last year, the official Twitter accounts for the royal family, King Charles and Queen Camilla, plus that of the Prince and Princess of Wales, all wished Lilibet a happy first birthday. This year, none of the three Twitter accounts publicly sent their birthday wishes to the young royal. Prince Archie also did not receive any birthday wishes on his fourth birthday, which fell on the same day as King Charles' coronation. Locke's take: last year's birthday acknowledgement was at the late Queen's behest and an indication of the cordial relationship she had with Prince Harry, Meghan and their children. King Charles' decision not to publicly acknowledge his granddaughter's birthday, nor Prince Archie's last month, is a reflection of their strained relationship and likely an indication of the social media practices going forward. Kate was out on Wednesday playing rugby, which resulted in some flattering, eye-catching photos of the future Queen being fabulous. Kate played rugby at the Maidenhead Rugby Club before speaking with the players about their childhoods. Kate wore a high ponytail and a blue T-shirt featuring a red rose, England's rugby logo. She completed the look with slim navy pants and white sneakers. It was the second outing for Kate this week. In early 2022, the princess took over as patron of the Rugby Football League and the Rugby Football Union. The role originally belonged to Prince Harry before that whole Megxit thing. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, YouTube Music, or your favorite app of choice. I am Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.